Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about Git and how we can work on Git using Eclipse or STS. We all know that Git is a version control system and it is used to manage our source code efficiently. So what we are going to do today is we are going to create a project in Spring Boot and we are going to host it on YouTube. We will also see the challenges which we face when we are trying to host it from the scratch. We will also explore the approval process, collaborators, etc. So let's not waste our time and go directly to the Spring initializer. This is start.spring.io. Here you can create a Spring Boot project from scratch. So I'm going to select the Maven as my package manager. We are going to select the Spring Boot version as default. We are going to modify that group name as like servoftware, and we are going to give it a name called learning git. We are going to let it be jar file and in Java 17, and we are going to generate it. I am not going to add any dependencies. So we are going to generate, and after the project is generated, it will be downloaded in your downloads folder. So I'm going to copy it to some other place where I will work on it. I'm going to place it inside our folder git project. I'm going to delete the previous ones. I'm going to extract this project in this folder itself. After that, I'm going to delete this compressed file because I do not need it anymore. So this is the project you can see. Now we are going to import it in Eclipse. There is not much difference between Eclipse and STS because STS is just a customized version of Eclipse. So I'm going to do it in Eclipse. I'm going to import this project. You can see the project has been imported, and we can see that there are files like learning git application. So you can see this, and after that I will open the pom.xml file. We can see here all the details related to pom, like what is the project group id, artifact id, etc. We are going to modify the one of the dependencies Spring Boot starter and make it Spring Boot starter web, because we need more dependencies related to it, and web contains also the starter and other few dependencies. So I'm going to modify it, and now we are going to update the project, pull all the dependencies. So we will right click on the project and we will go to the Maven and we'll update the projects. You can check here force update if you want, and you will like select it. So it has pulled all the dependencies. Since we do not have a lot of it completed. Now if you run it as an application, we'll see that it is starting properly. We can see it. You can also go to this particular port 8080 it is running on. If you go to the web page and try to open 8080, you will see a white label error page. So now we know that our project is running. Since that path does not exist, it is giving a default white label error page. Now what we will do, we will create some packages and classes. So I am going to right click on the package I'm going to create another package which is called controllers. Now I created a controllers package and I'm going to add a class called greetings, greeting controller, controller. So I finished it. Now I'm going to make it REST controller and also going to add a mapping path which will I will name it greetings. I will create a URL called URL get mapping. I will also give here a path variable which will be called name, and we will create the corresponding method which will return the string. Now I need to take this path variable and return here saying hello. Name. Since we do not have integrated or dev tools, we will have to restart this application. So what we are going to do is we are going to restart. And we can see that this application is again running on 80804. So we will go to the URL, browser URL, and again try the path which is recommended. So if you will write greetings, it won't work. We also have to give a path variable which is servicing. So now you can see that this URL is functional, and now our basic project is complete. So basically we need to host it on GitHub, and we also need to like add some people to collaborate which will approve the project, etc. So we'll do that. So now right now how to do it. So here you can see we have learning it. We'll go to teams and we will share the project. Once you start sharing the project, then git will be initialized in your this folder, this project. So share the project, and we want to create that initialization in the current folder itself. So we'll select use or create in the parent folder of the project, and we will create it learning it d git project learning it slash dot git. We will create the git file. So we'll create the repository and it will finish this file. Now you can see here one master called something is called master has came out. So what we can say, this is a branch in git actually, that we will come to later. Branch is just about like keeping the our code separate. Like we want to do some modification, we can create a branch. Master is kind of a main branch that is for the project. Sometimes it is called main, sometimes it is called master, but you can see anything and you can say it is my default branch. So there are certain things that come up with it, like you can restrict people to directly check in. You can use this particular branch that okay, this is for my build or this is for my production. My stable branch, this is my stable branch. all these things come up with this particular name. So finally, I have created my uh, code. I have initialized the git, but now we need to post it to GitHub. So to post it to GitHub, I'll go to my GitHub account, and here you can see I have logged in already. So here there is a new button, and here I will create a repo with the same name, which is called learning git. I'll set it private. Uh, Private, someone, nobody can see except you, unless you have provided approvals. Public, everyone can see. You can add these files if you want, but I am not going to add it. I'm going to create the repository directly. You can add a description if you want. I'm going to create the project. So finally, the project is the repo is created on my GitHub account. Now I need to like correlate this project, right, with we need to give our local project that okay, on this remote you need to host our code. The local code should know that this is my remote repo where I need to go. So here you can do with these commands, it is given here. So you can push an existing repository which we have on my local. You can run some commands on your local. Here instead of main it will be master, and you can like push that. But we are going to do it with uh, Eclipse itself, not with the commands. So we'll see how we can do. Also, there is one more thing to note, that there are two protocols that Git provides. There is HTTPS and there is SSH. So SS is widely used in many companies because it is easier. Once you like get the access, your remote repo recognizes your local machine. You will be able to push, uh, and no extra credentials will should is required later on. In HTTPS protocol, you have to give credentials or you have to store it somewhere. Then you'll be able to push whenever it is like you're going to push the code. So that's the difference. But since in our company we are using HTTPS, I'll go with HTTPS. So I am copying this I'm copying this URL and I'm going to the repo. Now here I'm not able, I need to commit the code and push it. So I'm going to right click on the project, go to the team and going to commit the code. Here what you can see, these are unstaged changes, and there is stage changes, there is the commit message, and there is commit and push options. So unstaged changes are like the changes we have made in all the files which have modified, and on all the paths which they exist, they are showing here from our relatively parent directory. So what we can do, suppose we want to send this particular file to the remote repository, we'll have to that particular file to the stage area. The files which are added to the stage area here will only go to the remote repository. All these changes will not be committed. Since this is my first commit, I'm going to add everything and going to commit it. So here I have committed all these changes. You also need to uh, give a commit message. So here you can write anything. I'm going to write initial commit. So my changes has been committed, but has this particular repo received it? No, it has not. We will have to push this code to our remote. So I'm going to Teams again. I'm going to push branch master. Now it wants all my credentials and also these changes. Okay. So I'm going to like give it and choose the HTTPS protocol. This is my user ID, and this is I'm going to give my password. So it is asking again. I'll give it again, and it is asking again. I give in again, and now it says that you are not authorized. So what basically happens is that sometimes we have configured our uh, our in our GitHub account two-factor authentications, or some due to some other issues, it is basically not able to push that code. So there is a separate functionality in GitHub that we need to use. So we will click on our profile pic, we'll go to our settings, and then what we will do, we will go to developer settings. There is a option like personal access token. So I'll go to that. We will choose token classic because this other option is in beta version. So we'll go to token classic. Now we will generate a no token. We will give it a name like my system, and you can set the expiration as anything you want. I'll set no expiration, and I will select everything right now because you can choose it carefully, because if your token is compromised, the person who has the token can do anything. But I'm going to delete it after the session is complete. So I am going to select everything and generate the token. So this token has been generated. I'm going to copy it and keep it somewhere, because once you refresh the space, this token will be gone. You have to really save it somewhere, otherwise you will have to generate again. So you can see here, this particular token has been generated and it is in my account. So I am going to use this token instead of my password. Okay, so I'm going to use this token, and I am going to use everything same. Everything will remain same. This is the repo is called learning git, and this is the path. So this path is correct. Okay, this path is correct, and this I'll give the username and password again. So password, I am going to use the token instead of my account password. So I'll preview it and see. Instead of when pulling, I'll say merge as rebase. We will see it later why I'm choosing rebase, and I'll preview it. So you can see here, new branch is master created on my remote, and I'm going to push this code. So it says push results, it is successful. Now I will go to the remote branch, and we will see here that our code has been pushed. So now, is it like this is it? No, it is not it. This is the first commit that we have created on my GitHub account. But later on, suppose there are multiple people, so I'm going to invite someone. This is for this repo, I'm going to invite myself from another account, and I'm going to it is the invite is pending. I have received that request in my mail. I'm going to like accept the invitation, and now we have a collaborator. So if you'll see here, I'm going to press the page, and I'm the collaborator on this particular project. Also, I'm going to create rule sets for our branches so that nobody can push the code in our master branch. They have to create a branch, they have to create a PR request, pull request, and then only they can merge the code in our branch. Nobody can directly push and without approval to the master branch. It is it needs to be a stable branch. Master branch is our stable branch. People who need to modify the code, they need to create another branch, and then they should modify the code and push that particular branch, and then they need to raise a PR, get the approval, and then only the merge will be done. So we are going to create that rule. So I'm going to add a branch rule sets. I'm going to name it just like master rule set. I'm going to make it active. I am going to restrict creations. I'm not going to select all these things. I don't know. I'm not going to select this linear history as well. Sign commits as well. I require a pull request before merging. It will like at least one approval because I do not have many people. So I'll select here one approval. Uh, Suppose you have created a pull request and someone has already reviewed it. So I'm going to disable. If you push in the review request, the previous review should be like dismissed, and then require review from code owners. We do not have code owners right now. I'm not going to check it. Check require approval of the most recent reviewable push. I'm going to select it. Require conversation resolution before merging. So if somebody has commented on your PR, those all comments should be resolved by you or like the person who has commented, and then only that PR needs to be merged. So require state checks to pass. I'm not going to select it. Require code scanning results. I'm going to select it, and I'm going to select code QL as a project, and I'm going to create this. Also, now we need to select a target on which these rules needs to be applied. So I'm going to include a default branch, which is master. So master is our default branch, and all these rules will be applied on the master branch. So this rule sets has been created, and now I'm going to save the changes. Okay. So right now the rule sets has been created, and what we will do, we will create another commit in the master branch, and we will see that we are able to push or not. Okay, so the initial commit, right now only one commit is there. So we are going to go to our local and create a branch, create some more changes. So I'm going to write another class called checkout controller. We have created this. We are going to make it REST controller. We are going to give a request mapping, and we are going to add here suppose checkout. We are going to create a path endpoint. We are also going to get the path variable as name, and we are going to return a string saying that okay, bye bye, tata. So checkout return by plus name. Now we are going to read that path variable string name. So this is the endpoint we have added. Now we are going to run and see if this is working. So I'm going to start it again. So run as Java application. and you will see that this is running on port 00 8080. So we'll go here, we will check uh, check out, and you will open, it says buy service. Okay, now I'm going to stop the server. This endpoint is working. I need to commit this code and push it to our server. So I'll go here, I'll commit the code. First I'll add it is to the staging area. I will write a message like added check out controller, and I'll commit this. Now I need to push this change also. So I'll go to teams. I will push to origin. The remote has rejected. And why it has rejected that code? Because there is a rule violation. So you can like check the rule violation, but changes must be made through a pull request. Now what we can do is, now the we cannot directly push to master. That's the issue. Like we cannot directly push to the master branch. So what should we do in this particular case? We'll have to create another branch. So I will just create a branch from here only. I'll switch to new branch. I'll name it master and like checkout. Okay. So now the new branch has been created, which says as development, which is called development. And now here you can see development because it is the active branch. So now if you want to see how many branches we have, you can like, and there is one more thing that we need to know. Suppose there is a view called git repository. So if you want to see more detail about it, you can just go to window, show view, and you can search here for git. Now you can see these. I will select, after getting this, you need to select git repositories and you need to open it. Now here you can see that I'm getting that option to see that learning git repositories. Now here if you'll go, you will see the branches option. You can see here local and also the remote tracking. So right now you can see on your local, there are two branches. Remote tracking is not there. We will have to probably fetch it. So if I go to teams again and do fetch from origin. So now you will be able to see we have branches in our remote tracking, that is like master. Okay. So right now we do not have development branch on our remote. We only have master branch. We need to push this particular development branch on our remote server. So what we will do, we'll right click on the branch, we'll go to teams, and we will push to origin. And it is saying all this information is when pulling, I'll select rebase and I'll push this particular branch. So now if you will go to your server, what you will see, let's see. Go to your server and you can see that there are two branches. One is master, one is development. Master branch is default, development is another branch, and active branch right now on my system. So there are two branches. Now if I open this, it is saying compare and pull request. Now if I'll go to the development branch itself, here we will see that this branch is one commit ahead of master. So what should we do? We will have to create a comparison that what are the changes that are in development branch but not in the master branch. So we want to sync our new changes into the default branch that is called master for us. So we'll compare and create a PR, pull request. You can put a description, added a, there could be a detailed description here, but I'm going to write this one only. I'm going to create a request, pull request. Now you review is required. You have to assign someone. So I'm going to reviewers. I'm going to assign reviewers. I'm going to assign Sarvjit Suman as my reviewer. Okay. I'm going to assign Sarvjit Suman as my reviewer, and I'm going to assign, this is not required, but I can assign it to myself. Okay. So if I refresh this, you will see that review is required. You can also merging is blocked. So right now merging is blocked. Right now merging is blocked. Also, you cannot merge directly. You cannot push to the master branch. You cannot directly merge the branch. So what should we do? We will have to follow rules. We'll have to get the approvals, and then only this PR request will be merged. So what we are going to do is we are going to check the file changes. This looks correct. This is fine for me. Since I am the person who has pushed this code, I will not be will be reviewing myself. I'll not be able to review myself. So who will be able to review? Other people. So I'll go to my another account and I'll open this project and learning it. And what I'll do, I'll check the PR. I will check this PR and it says that review the changes. Now I can see the option. This is my another account. I have not committed the code, but I am the collaborator on this project. I'm working on that particular project. So I am able to see the option here to like what are the changes you have made. If there were like some files are modified, then there might be plus minus red lines or something. Since I have only added this file, we will be able to see and it looks good to me. Then I'll come in, looks good to me, and I'll approve the changes. If there are some lines which I do not like, I'll be reviewing this and commenting this over here to request changes and request changes. So I will submit my review that okay, approved. Now if I'll go to my the account from which I have created this PR or change, I'll see that my change has been approved. Then why this code is blocking? So there is some code QL rule that needs to run. Let's results error, and this is not running right now. So how can I run? So you'll have to search for code QL. Right now we will not go into this, but we have to we will disable that particular rule for now. So we will go to the rule sets and we will disable that rule for the code scanning results. Code scanning is basically that you have followed all the rules kind of thing. So we will go to, we have disabled right now because we do not have the hooks, etc. It needs to play. So right now, my peer, we will go again to our peer and see what happens. So now it says that approval is done and the actions that GitHub actions is not integrated right now. We have disabled that code QL. So right now we can merge this pull request. I will select rebase and merge. You can do a commit, create a merge commit. Merge commit basically has two parents. Squash commits merges multiple commits and then merges code. But in the remains and merge, what happens is first the code is like rebased. The current changes are rebased on the changes in the branch, and then that particular commit is added. It looks like the changes happened sequentially. In the merge commit, that's not the case. The changes happen parallelly, will be merged in parallel. So I'll go and rebase and merge. It gives a cleaner history. I am going to rebase and merge and click over here, confirm rebase and merge. And now this pull request has been committed. You can also delete the branch, but I'm not going to delete the development branch right now. we are going to use it later. So if I go to the master branch, you will see that right now we have two commits, and our even if I select the development branch, it will be here like the two commits. But if it was a merge commit, the that it might have looked a bit different. Okay, so this was an approval process. You can see that how we were able to merge the code with approval from our friends. So this is the way the enterprises works. We need to create a way in our company that how on a bare metal system we can follow this process. That's it from my side. Thank you.